All right, guys, it is in the house as well, the new HPI Forza Flux. So I'm curious if this is any different than their previous buggy, but I'll go ahead and unbox this real quick and show you guys kind of what's inside. So I did pick this up from JJ Customs. I will leave a link below in the description to their website if you want to go over there and check them out. And also, if you're in the area, I advise you to go ahead and check their hobby store out. So they do actually have a physical location you can go over there and check out too. So if you can go over there, see what's going on in there. If you meet Jason, tell him I said, hey, what's going on? So anyway, we're going to go ahead and crack this open. Now, I mentioned before that they do have these in 3 different versions. This is kind of their standard version. Then they do have an S version. They have a nitro version of this too. It looks to be a little different and stuff. So I'm going to crack this open and see. Of course, they're saying 64 miles per hour out the box. That's going to be interesting to see if it'll hit it, if it has the same gearing as the Truggy or not. But I think those wheels on here looks pretty cool. And of course, there's some of the specifications and stuff on it as well. But let's go ahead, let's crack this up and let's see what we got. Yeah, opening this up. Gotta love the smell of a new RC car. So the wing does not come actually attached on here like it did for the Truggy, so I'll have to put that on. But here is the wing right here for it, and here is the actual buggy. So let me go ahead, let me pull this out instead of making all this noise, and we'll see what we got. All right, got this buggy out, y'all, and it looks good. I like its Ford cab body that it has on. The layout's really good too. So I thought that this was kind of a new design for HPI, but it is just like their original Forza, just different body and stuff too. And minor things are a little bit different with it. But real quick, it does come with this new TF50 radio. This radio you can actually use for left and or right hand people. You just take those 4 screws out there, and you can actually move this over to the left side if you are left-handed with it. And I've run this thus far in the Truggy version of this, and it's actually been good. I haven't had any issues or problems with that. And you do get some basic tools with it. At first I thought they didn't give you tools, but they actually do, which is good. Because it's always good to have tools when you buy these kits, especially for people that are buying them for the first time. So, of course, I went ahead and got this wing put on. It was just 2 screws, and bam, that's put on there. But the buggy looks good overall. I like this tire tread for it. It's something unique, a little bit different than the original Forza. And these actually wheels are pretty big, and those wheels look pretty awesome too. They look kind of like a black snowflake there. So that actually looks good. Now, they did go cheaper with this buggy, meaning that it does, of course, have the plastic body threaded shocks, which is fine. I think these shocks will be fine. I haven't had any issues with these, like on the I think it's the Apache SC or something. It's the short course truck they made that came with something similar. And then of course the turnbuckles are not adjustable. The original Forza had adjustable turnbuckles on it. Now the S version has those adjustable turnbuckles on it, but this version does not. So it's going to be curious to see how this handles. And I usually don't do adjustments with those turnbuckles anyway I get a vehicle. But it's nice to have that option in case you want to do some slight adjustability to it. So like I said, this is not the S version. So this is going to be different than that S version that's out there. The S version has 775 aluminum and stuff in it. But the layout is pretty much standard Forza. It does have a 2200 kV motor. And yeah, my gear mesh is good this time. With my Truggy, the gear mesh was way too tight. And then also down in here where my finger is pointing, that plastic mold was actually eating into the spur gear. But I don't see that's going to be an issue with this one. I think they got this one set up pretty good. Now, the suspension is going to be something that we're going to have some conversations with HPI about, because whoever's setting their new suspension up for these vehicles is not doing a good job. I think they need to either put some heavier, thicker oil in here or put some better springs on here, because the Truggy's the same way. And I believe I saw some people with the S version and they thought that the suspension is way too soft too, which no exception here with this one. So with this, like I said, guys, I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I do want to get this out running. It does come with Dean's connectors, and I was actually just really clearing my throat, but it does. No, that was done on purpose. Come with Dean's connectors, so you will have to think about trying to swap this out, unless you want to run with Dean's. But I think at this point in time, Dean's can only really be run on brush cars. With all the power and the lipos that we run on these vehicles, these definitely need to be upgraded. At least put some XT90s or something on here. But this is what HPI has been doing with their vehicles for a very long time. So some things just don't change, which is fine. So with this one also has a not as strong and a less slower servo, not as fast as the one that's in the S version with that. Like I said, the chassis on this one is not 775 aluminum, but my previous Voyage, I didn't have any problems. The only thing I really messed up was after running it, I think I ran into a pole, which is going to happen in any car. I ended up bending the front shock tower, which is fine. But it's good because you can still find parts for these that are on the previous Voyage you can put on here, like the adjustable turnbuckles. I'll probably end up just ordering a set from Dollar Hobbies or something, just so that I can have a set or something on here for this. I'm pretty sure the shock towers and stuff are possibly the same as well. I need to just take a look and do a comparisons to previous buggies and see. But this does come with sway bars, as you guys see there, front and rear. But you guys see in there, no droop screws. So I don't know why manufacturers are not recently putting those in there. I know that they haven't done it, and then I know Traxxas doesn't do it. I mean, if you don't want to, I guess, pay a worker to screw those in there, at least include them in the kit so that we can have those, because there's none in here at all. I mean, shock pistons and stuff are in here, but there's no droop screws in here that I can see. Yeah, it's just different servo heads and servo horns in here that are different teeth. But that's, I think it's a 23 and a 24 that's in here. And this is a 25 that's installed in there. So I wish they would at least include that. But anyway, that's going to be a quick unboxing and look at this. Instead of I'm going to spend a lot of time. So I do want to at least try to get this out and get this running. I'm definitely going to have to tighten this suspension up because this rear end is definitely going to drag, especially when I put a LiPo in there. I'll probably run one of my NZ Hobby LiPo batteries or one of my, I don't know, I got several 6S LiPos. I'm just going to run it on 6S. I'm not going to worry about doing a 4S test run. And then when we test it on Super Speed Saturday, if I don't test it before then, of course, we'll test it on 4S and then on 6S as well. So anyway, guys, that's going to be a quick look at this. Wanted to show this to you guys. HPI seems to be back regardless. I'm happy because they do make good vehicles. I mean, this has basically got kind of race DNA in it, so it should perform well. The previous Vorza performed good, and this should be no exception. And it was a tank too. I mean, it was the first 100-mile-per-hour, I think, RC car and buggy back in, 10, 12, 14 years ago when these were being released. So this is going to be no exception to the rule. So I can't wait to get this out and get this running. I do have a spool from Speed Tech RC that I'm also going to be putting in. It's a 39-2 spool. So I'll put it either here or put it also in the Truggy. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the Truggy real quick to show you guys the side-by-side comparisons of the two. So here we are. We got Brothers. Of course, this is not the stock tires and wheels that come on here. So I did want to also get matching. I wasn't too fond of the greenie. That's why I didn't really worry about the S version. And if I want to do some upgrades on it, I can. But you guys see here, like I mentioned, adjustable turnbuckles, not adjustable turnbuckles. And like I said, I think the original HPI did come with Vorza adjustable turnbuckles on it. But they both have plastic body shocks, but I don't see any problem with that. And then, of course, the 775 aluminum that's on there and the better servo that's included with the S versions. But I went ahead and I upgraded this servo to a Speed Tech servo anyway. And I believe I have one more servo in there, a Speed Tech servo I ended up putting up in here. And guess what, guys? I've already flipped it. I've already torn my body up. I was doing a test run, and that just wasn't pretty. But I'm going to get the spool and run it in both of these too so you guys can see that as well. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, comments down below, and stay tuned for more videos. And yeah, I got boxes everywhere. Thanks, guys, for watching.